think we're live. So, hey everyone, coming at you from my new apartment. A long story. So I've been off YouTube for a while. There's many reasons, and I wanted to talk about some of them, but welcome to everybody who's here. I miss you all, and if you're new to this channel, welcome also. Today we're going to talk about dealing with failure and setbacks, and where have I been, like what's been happening to me. By the way, I just want to say that before we get too deep into this stream, there are people in the world which are truly suffering from things that are outside of their control, like the mess and the thing that's happening in Ukraine, that's terrible, and other places where, you know, people just have no power to deal with things that are happening in the world, which is out of their control, and they're unfortunately paying the price. And so when I talk about dealing with failures and talking about setbacks, I'm talking about like personal setbacks, life setbacks, where we actually do have the power and the control how we deal with things. But unfortunately, what you might think is a big deal might not be for somebody else, or somebody else's big deal might not be your big deal. But inside, people can't go through hard times on the individual level. And that's what I'm going to talk about, is the things that we deal with on our own level. And yes, if there's an echo, that's one of those things, like what am I supposed to do? I need to get blankets and carpets, but I didn't want to hold off the stream. I just wanted to get started. So saying hello. A lot of people are here already, which is exciting. And the whole point is, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's here. Thank you to the community. Thank you for everybody that's supported the channel, you know, from John Smilga, always give me positive vibes, Alex, Engine Boy, Luke, everybody, you know, you guys just been so huge. Everybody in the community is so huge. All the old faces, new faces. Sharon, what's up? Logic Indie, what's up? Daryl. Dude, your comment made my day, by the way. Let me just screen share, because I did pull it up because I wanted to say this, because I just want to show the power of the community and how awesome it is. And so Daryl here, he sent me like a tweet that literally, like, I try not to get emotional and hopefully I won't cry on the stream, but so much positivity, you know. He said, your channel has done more than you can think or imagine. When I started my journey, I felt alone at my age in starting. Your story inspired me, along with John's, as you showed all the things that are possible. Remember that everything that you have accomplished. And I really, that tweet really touched me, because those who don't know, I recently, and again, when I'm talking about failure and setbacks, I'm talking personal setbacks, not talking about the real atrocities that people are suffering right now, but I want to talk about, because there is that overall world, but then there's our personal world, and sometimes, like, we definitely, you know, can't struggle in that as well, and that's what I want to talk about today. But this tweet really made me think about what a lot of you were saying to me. And so what happened to me is that I separated with my fiance, and some of you are like, oh my God, big deal, whatever. But I was with her for 5 years, and my whole goal, the whole point of transitioning careers and studying really hard and doing everything that you have to do to make life changes is because I wanted us to have a good life. I wanted us to be together. I wanted us to enjoy the things that we have, enjoy the fruits of our labor. And when we separated, that crushed me, because all the things that I worked towards, you know, getting a new job, learning to code, moving through, like, this journey was crazy. Like, I started from not knowing anything and eventually getting my dream job. Thank you, John. That was such a challenging journey. And the fact that when I lost my fiance, like when we separated, I was devastated, because that was my motivation. That was my goal to getting to where I wanted to go. And I did go through this, I wouldn't say like depressed, but this hurt, this feeling of being alone again. It was very difficult. And it quickly got me spiraling in the wrong direction. Even though I had all the other things in life, I didn't even think about them. I just thought about, oh my God, the one thing that I wanted now I don't have. And I started to kind of feel down. I started to doubt myself. I started to feel, you know, like what, it's maybe none of it is worth it. Like, what is the point? And, you know, talking to many of you and being like, Paul, yeah, it's terrible. It sucks what has happened to you. Like, I'm sorry. But think of all the things that you accomplished. Think of everybody in the community. Think of all the people that you met through your journey on YouTube, and you really do have a lot. And then I realized that whenever things go bad in our life, and whatever they are for us, is that it's very easy for us to start to doubt ourselves and only focus on the negative. And the issue with that, when you only focus on the negative, you're going to spiral in the wrong direction. You're going to not be able to, you know, see what you have. And so when we're suffering with our personal problems, you know, in our lives, not something that's out of our control, like things that are happening in Ukraine. And I want to stress this because I don't want anybody to kind of talk about like what I'm saying, be like, oh, look at Paul complaining and crying about like his stupid story, breaking up, oh my gosh. And also, you know, not keeping mind of things that are happening. But I don't want to kind of put a blind eye to the fact that we all have, you know, our small personal lives, and the troubles that we can have in them could cause us not to live our life to our best potential, and cause us like go more inward, separate from everybody, and actually start to fall into a depression, which could be a serious thing, because then you're not functional, you're not able to help others, you're not able to give back to the community, you're not able to, you know, kind of share your life with people around you, like your family. I kind of like went away from YouTube, I went away from my family, I kind of got stuck in my own head and being like, oh my God. And of course I cried a lot. Hopefully I'm not going to cry a lot. And it was a hard breakup because, you know, it's very hard. Like, I'm older, and when you find someone you really love, it's very difficult. And there are many reasons why we broke up. And part of that reason is, this is a very difficult thing to talk about but I want to mention it because it's something that I might have taken for granted. If you live with a significant other, and obviously there's both sides to the story, but I'm going to tell you like part of my story, because you do have to take into account everybody's story. And when I was making my transition into the career, there was a lot of studying, there's a lot of personal sacrifice, and I felt that I, you know, like set the expectation from the get-go, like, hey, listen, this is the work I have to do. I have to study. I have to go to work. I have to come home. I have to study. This is why I'm doing this, is because I want to make sure that I could get to my other job. But the truth is that if you don't share with your significant other or your partner the sacrifice that it takes to make a career transition or things that you do, it is going to add a lot of stress to your relationship. And if both people are not able to at least understand what that will take and the effort that will take to stay together, because relationships are already hard without any stress, without stuff, they take a lot of work. And because of that, you know, I kind of just focused inwardly on myself, my work, that I might have not given all the attention, or at least knew what she was going through from her standpoint. So you can't fix the past, but I wanted to share the story because I wanted to be like, hey, listen, there's a lot going on when switching careers, and some of these things that we don't think about could cause extra, you know, stress on the relationship. But we'll talk more about dealing with setbacks and what I've been learning. And what I've been learning, by the way, is, I'll take a look at some comments because this is super important, is that, listen, we are not our setbacks, we are not our failures. They do not define who we are. They hurt, but that hurt is going to be short term as long as we focus on the positive things. And so it took you, all of you, to, like, I talked to John, I talked to a lot of my friends, I heard you in the comments tell me, like, listen, Paul, that's one small step for you, but don't forget about all the things that you accomplished, like how you were able to switch careers, all the community you built, all the amazing people that you have in your life, and all the things that you do. And that made me feel like so good, because I realized is that even though some parts of your life may not be the way you want, you still have the power to make decisions that will help you to move out of that setback and move forward. And sometimes it's hard because we feel alone and we feel by ourselves. And, knowing and reminding myself, hey, you have your family, you have your mom, you have your sister. My sister just had a baby boy, Bodhi, so beautiful, and made me really think like there's so many things in life that are positive that I have. Like, I have this YouTube channel, I have my job at Strappy. People at Strappy, so amazing. By the way, I just want to say, not to plug in Strappy and say how awesome the CMS is and how everybody should be using Strappy for their project, but just, we got to put that in there. But I have to say, and we'll look at the comments in just a second, so many awesome things. But yeah, what I want to say is the people in Strappy are so amazing, and they were so supportive of me going through the low part of my life where I felt that deep breakup, and that I just speechless to say how awesome they are. And because of the people that work at Strappy, I was able to stay positive and motivated. And so what I want to say, the most important thing is, even though something bad might happen, number one, don't let failures or setbacks define who you are. Number two, like that right away, just think about all the things that you do have. Like, you might have your health, you might have a place where you live, you might have your family that loves you, you have your friends that care for you, you have everybody around you that you could lean on. Like my friend Jeff helped me out so much, like especially through this transition of moving back to Texas. I had to switch apartments and all this other stuff, and it made me realize is that there's so much positivity. It's just when we have something bad happen to us, we don't focus on that. And we'll talk more about this, about dealing with setbacks on the stream. But let me jump into the comments just to kind of say hello to everybody, because it's been awesome. Miss you all. And thank you for joining. I wasn't sure how the stream was going to go. And I know there's an echo, whatever. I'm just happy to be here. And if you haven't smashed the like button, let's smash the like button, right? A lot of people, like, by the way, like thought, like, here's the thing, like the way I named the stream, like, and like it's like, oh no, Paul's gonna be like really negative, really upset. But the point is, like, I can't be upset with such an amazing support from all of you. Like, I just can't. You make me happy, and it took me a while to realize it, but I am really thankful for all of you because you mean so much to me. I'll try not to cry, promise. But okay, I'm gonna cry, so I'm gonna switch topic here. Let's look at the comments. So yeah, we have Coding Addict here. I'm starting from the earlier, you saw him in the comments, but I'm starting from the early comments. Coding Addict is John Smilga, the greatest instructor to teach code ever, because his course is just so well done and makes sense. By the way, he hates when I do this, but why not? Why not? I love so John created this amazing application, which is kind of cool that I, to be honest, I just recently logged in. I didn't do the course where he teaches you how to build this, but this is actually a very useful application. You're able to log in, and you could basically keep track of your applications that you're submitting, interview schedule, and keep track of jobs that you decline. And you could put your jobs. And so if you're looking to get hired, outside of learning how to build this in one of his courses, this is actually a pretty cool tool to use. And like, I'm like, man, why didn't I think of building something like this? That's so, man, always gets the good ideas. So anyway, that's my shout out there. Let's come back to the comments. Coding Addicts here. Yep. Alex is here. Alex asks, can't wait to get everything back to normal, start streaming. Yeah, we need to bring back our Power Hour stream for sure with John, because it's amazing, and then this is obviously agreement for that to happen. Let's see, we're gonna say hello to everybody that's here. Engine Boy, what is happening? Long time no see. Yes, man, I miss you, and I still did not forget. I need to have you come on and talk about that awesome project that you built. So we are going to do it. I'm just trying to get everything back together. I'm going to talk about all the things we're going to do on moving forward. I think it's going to be exciting. Drew, hey, what's up? Paul, how are you? How's your day going? It's going great because I'm actually here with you, hanging out, streaming in a long time. So it's amazing. Yeah. And let's see here. Just Luke, what's up? Man, Luke, I miss you. You got to tell me all about like that job that you have. I want to know about it because I know, man, Luke is awesome because he was really into like, just an awesome guy. If you haven't seen our previous live stream where we were together, check it out. A lot of good stuff. But I'm so excited for him. Like, it's been a while now, but he's gotten a job working as a ASP.NET and C# developer. Very stoked for that. And then he was telling me my first job. So maybe he already has a second job, which is crazy. Hey, my first dev job was a toxic Scrum hell, which we could talk about. By the way, my first job, and if you heard my experience, was kind of insane too. Sharon, I'm at work, but so glad to see you back. Thanks, Sharon. Logic India, hey man, how's it going? No, man, thank you. I can't say enough. Like, it's because of all the community support that I'm back here. It's awesome. So don't be sorry to hear about what I'm going through stuff. It's great to see you back, Paul. Thank you. It means so much. Daryl, man, it's just awesome, man. Thank you. Abby, hey, Paul, how are you? I'm doing good. Brian, it was very good to see you in West Side. Brian and he took me to our first meetup. It was so much fun, which got me to think about this idea that I want to start hosting my own meetup. And what I want to do is to invite people from the community like you to share what you've been learning. I want to do it for two reasons. Number one, to get better at just setting up events and sharing stuff. But number two, like, be able to hear and give everybody a chance to talk about cool stuff that you're doing and building, because I think it's the best way to learn is when people sharing their projects. So I'm excited for that. Brian, miss you already. Gonna have to come visit me in Texas. It's gonna be awesome. Northern Chip, what's up? Hooray! Yeah, no, super excited. Michael here, love your work, man. Thank you so much. Again, I'm just going through these comments, but we'll come back to talk about dealing with setbacks and failure. But I'm just excited to stream again. I want to talk about like all this cool stuff, but I do want to hear to see what you're doing. And yeah, Drew says it's hard to maintain balance really in life, and it is true. And these are some of the things we learned going along the way. And we will come back, talk about like how to deal with setbacks and difficulties a little bit. I just want to run through and say hello, Jose, what's up? Yo, Paul, welcome back. No, thank you. Nice. And then, yes, this is a comment from before when I talked about how awesome Strappy is. But since I'm reading this comment again, Strappy is phenomenal and awesome. Amazing company to work with and work for. You could learn more about it at strappy.io. It's like if people wonder, what is this show sponsored? It's sponsored by me and John. It's not actually sponsored, but I love John's courses, so go check him out. John Smilga, check out his channel, Coding Addict. Alex is here. Like, I'm just going through the comment. Jason, hey Paul and John, hang in there, Paul. I was through some personal hardship recently too, and I had to take some time away for myself, but ready to be positive and start grinding again. Man, hope that things are looking up for you too as well. And man, that's really hard. And this is the thing that I wanted to say, even though there's the world issues that people are dealing with, but there are still personal problems, and every personal problems might not be a big deal to somebody else, but it's a big deal to us. It's a big deal to you. And anything that makes us doubt ourselves in our lives, our things that we're doing, it's so easy to go down the spiral staircase where we might go deeper and deeper and maybe get to depression, which is a real thing. And once you're in that state, it's so hard to do anything in life, God forbid, like going to work and being positive. So hang in there, my man. Let me know if anything I could do to help. But one thing that made me kind of turn around, it took time, by the way. I'm all positive here, but it's been like 2-3 months that I've been pretty down, and it's been hard. And like, it's after I was like, man, don't think about the negative. Don't think about what already has happened, but think about what you have now, your friends, your family, your awesome community. You have 2 cats. You have a daughter that loves you. You have so much good stuff going on. And then that slowly turned me around and started me like, you know what, everybody's right. I got to focus on the positive and I got to move forward. And one of the things with like failure is that, and I'll come back to the comments in a second, one thing with failure is that a lot of times when it happens to us, we think that it's us. We think that something's wrong with us, like not a mistake what we made, but we might think that something inside is legitimately broken. And that's a terrible feeling to have. And so one thing that I want to say is, number one, you are not your failure. You're not your setback. It's just things that happen. And the power that we have as individuals, we have the ability to change that through our actions. And even though it might be hard and you might not be motivated, to me, motivation is BS. Like it's hard to be motivated when you have ups and downs in your life, especially when life is down. For the past 3 months, I did not have motivation at all, but I still did my job the best that I can. I still focused on the things that I could do that are within my control to get me back to doing these live streams with you. And I just knew that I needed to take these steps, regardless how I felt about them, to bring me back and climb out of my rut. And sometimes you will not have the motivation to do the work that's required. So you just have to keep pushing through, right? And the biggest thing that I learned, and I learned from you and from people in my family and from my friends, participate in your friends. Like participate, like don't, like I closed down for a little bit, and that was the wrong thing to do. Instead, I should have seeked out my family more. I should have hung out with them more, and I started to, and that helped me out. I should have reached out to my friends, which I eventually started to do. And you know, chatting with you today, it's such a big step for me because I'm getting out there, show up, be with others, and share space with them. Even if you might not feel positive, little by little, you're going to get through it. And most important thing, and this is something that is the biggest lesson that I still learn, is that focus on things that you can't control. The things that I control in my life, like doing the best at work, spending personal time, you know, maybe doing some meditation, maybe taking a walk. Like I can never change my ex-fiance's mind. I can never change a decision that I don't have control over, and that's okay. What's important to understand is that you're able to make changes in your life that will help you in your life. And if there's other things in life going on that you have no control, they might affect you negatively. They might not be good for you, but that's all you could do is kind of control how you deal with them. And I want to say this again, because depending when you're jumping into the stream, I want to really make a difference between personal trials and difficulties that we suffer in our lives, like breakup, being sick, losing our job, is not the same as things that are outside of your control in the world, like the ridiculous conflict in Ukraine and other countries where people are legitimately dealing with stuff where they can't do anything to change. They just have to deal with it. My heart goes out to all of them, and that's a whole like different problem. That's like a atrocity going on, you know. And what I'm talking about is our personal little battles that we have in our personal small world, small lives, which could still be devastating on an individual basis. And that's what I'm talking about it. And the most important thing is have faith. Things are going to get better. And make sure, this is something that I took forever to do, is find others to encourage you to get back on track. Like I said, I kind of got off YouTube. Like I still had to show up at work. I couldn't like stop working, but it was hard. It was hard. And then understand you could do more than you think. You could handle a lot more than you think. And, you know, it's something that, again, you might not realize. This is why I say hang out with your friends, get in touch with your friends. And the biggest lesson thing here is accept responsibility for the situation. And maybe it was your fault, maybe it was not your fault, but accept the situation. This is what is happening to me. This is what happened. This is the situation I'm in. I cannot go back. I cannot take back all the things I said, or I cannot change what happened in the past. You draw that line in the sand and you say, from this point on, I accept the things that happened to me, and what can I do realistically, you know, to help myself move forward. And I know there's a lot of stuff, but again, I just wanted to share that with everybody, because to me, it's important that, like, at least with everybody in the community, for this YouTube channel, like, I always want to share the things that are true, right? I don't want to talk about hype, how to get hired in 30 days and make $1 billion. And so I want to share part of my personal life, because I know that this can be a thing. Someone could be dealing with something in their life that is going to not keep them motivated and to continue to do the thing that they're doing, to learn, study coding while working and taking care of the kids, to make that career switch. And don't give up, because it's much easier to just say, hey, this is where I am, let me keep moving forward, even if it's with little steps, than it is to get to a point where you're so down on yourself that you start going backwards. You go down that spiral staircase, and you could dig yourself into a hole that may take exponentially much more time to get out. And look at me, like, I've been off YouTube for almost like 2-3 months, and that's just like YouTube. But think of all the things in my life. Like, I didn't call any of my friends. Like, I changed my phone number that nobody knew my phone number. Like, on my birthday, I was like, why is nobody calling me? I was like, I didn't care, because I was in a place where I was like, whatever, no one cares. But at the same time, I was like, why is nobody calling me? Because I changed my number and did not give it to anybody else. And Jose is leaving, can't stay. Have a nice weekend. If you left, man, I miss you, but hope you have a great weekend too. And here we go. Like I say, John Smilga always getting the most amazing comments, because he's awesome. And, he says, I learned so much from your courses. You helped me a lot. Thank you. He helped a lot of people. And John saying thank you. And Alex says, for every dark night, there's a brighter day. And that's the attitude that we have to have, 1,000%. Yeah, I always go back to the Tupac quote, when I get low. Yep. Failing for the last 35 years. Coding nerd, if I had more time, I would talk about my story from my early. So, oh my gosh. If people met me in person now who knew me when I was in my 19, 18 to my 20s, like, everybody has a story. Everybody has their failures. But when you think about it, you just have to understand that that's just the path that everybody takes. And I don't know what your particular situation is, but for me, something that made me look at failure differently is to just take responsibility for my actions, regardless if I did something stupid that had a repercussion that I had to deal with. When you acknowledge it, that it's your fault, you do the one most important thing is you put power back into your hands, because now it's not everybody else around you that you can't fix, but it's you. It's like, hey, I could make different choices to get ahead and do things differently. And this is something that I always remind myself and get back to. Every time you accept your responsibility, bad or good, for your actions, you give back control to yourself, and now you're able to make decisions that will affect where you go. Of course, you could continue to make bad decisions, and we know where that leads everybody, but you could also start making the right decisions and to move forward. And but man, I totally feel it. Yeah, and isolation is never a good solution when you go through hard stuff, but it's so easy to get there. It's so easy to get there. Yeah, it's so true, man. You definitely have to reach out, definitely. Even if it's just hang out with your family or your one best friend, I mean, that's huge. It helps. And Luke says, congratulations on becoming an uncle. Man, thank you. Bodhi is amazing. He's amazing. Very cool. So, man, this is like so amazing. I'm so glad to have everybody here. If you're just joining new and you're new to the channel, man, thank you. I really appreciate your support. Going through some hard times really helped me a lot. And Kit Kat is jumping in. She's super awesome. She was one of the earliest supporters of Coding After 30 community. Cool to see you. Definitely have to chat. Love to do a stream. And Alex, Uncle Paul. Uncle Paulie. Paulie. Hey, Uncle Paulie, come over here. Let me do you a little favor, Bodie. Come on, I'll tie your tie. Anybody give you a problem in school? I help. That's my terrible accent right there. We're coming back stronger now, 100%. So, yeah, and like I said, man, the community's been awesome. You all have been awesome. I'm so thankful that I'm in a position to be able to sit in front of the camera and just chat with you. And if you're brand new jumping in, I'm some dude who late in life, I'm 42 now, so in my mid-30s, I decided to switch careers into coding. It was a very hard journey. It was very, very difficult, a lot of work. I felt like giving up all the time. When I say motivation is BS because half the time I was not motivated to do the work that I had to do, but that's a whole other topic we could talk about. And Ibuka says, hi from Nigeria. Man, great to have you here. This is so awesome. But what we talk about this channel is the reality of switching careers. I don't make stuff up and say, like, hey, this is going to be easy to motivate you to do work. No, the biggest and best thing you could do for yourself when you're looking to switch careers is to set realistic expectations or learning to code and understand that it's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult, and it's not going to be easy. And I was talking to somebody who recently told me, he's like, man, Paul, I think he went through Bootcamp, and it's like, I think I made a bad decision. Like, I don't think coding is for me. I'm like, well, why do you think that? He's like, it's hard. And maybe like other people, it takes them easier to learn. And the fact is, don't compare yourself to others. And number two, which is number one, coding is not easy. Coding is hard. It is a difficult job. It's not like everybody that I talk to that's been like coding for any matter of time, this is what they tell me. It's like the longer I work as a developer, the more I think I don't know and the harder things get. It's because that's normal. That's part of what development is, and you have to understand that. And when you're embarking in this career, which like if I had to go back, I would still not change anything. I would still go through the struggle. And I left all my previous videos, like my first few videos that I have on my YouTube channel, like were before I even had my first real dev job. It's like I was some dude on the internet just trying to figure this thing out. And the biggest thing that I had was like, hey, I'm older. I'm like, now I'm 42. I'm like, people, how am I going to stand out amongst all these young computer CS degree graduates? Like, how am I going to do that? And it was a process of figuring those things out. And I'll talk more about through more live streams, but making sure that you're getting involved in the community. One of the best things, like something that I started to do, but I didn't know it had a name, but it's this idea of called build in public or learn in public, where every little thing that you build, you share, you tag people. Maybe like you're like building some React application, you build something cool and you're like, hey, this is what I learned, or this is the problem that I ran into, and then you could tag React and you just publicly share things and be involved in the community. People have to see your progress. If nobody knows the progress, code in public. If nobody knows the progress that you're making, is going to be very hard to stand out. Another thing that I did, I started this YouTube channel. Why? Because I wanted to build, number one, I wanted to have something that shows my progress, but I also wanted to use it to have a voice and to build, I guess you could call it my brand, authority, being as a developer, showcasing. That's why I do live coding, to learn to code live, because a lot of you that jump in on the live stream, you actually give me good feedback. I remember we were troubleshooting one time, and you all helped me and gave me the answer. So it's to learn quicker, but also to show others like what I'm capable of and show my improvements, like blogging and sharing it on your LinkedIn profile. It's huge. Don't underestimate blogging, and they don't have to be long, big blogs, but they do build authority. So if you might not have a CS degree, but you have a good portfolio project, and maybe you wrote a few blogs about it on your personal blog or dev.to or what have you, and you share it on LinkedIn, it creates this effect which allows you to find opportunities where if you didn't do those things, it would be really hard to find. And I'll talk more about those as well, but I want to more jump back and kind of look at the comments, and then have more chat about dealing with difficulties. And let me know, like in the comments, like when you dealt with something that was difficult, and like what did you do, or what helped you to get out from it. And sometimes like it takes years, you know. I'm not gonna delusion myself to say that the life struggle is real. And let me just Yeah, so I had a lot of things like, so let me jump down here for a second and then I'll come back here. So I joined late, seems Paul got heartbroken from what I'm reading in comments, accept my condolences. Man, thank you, Buko. And yeah, it was so I was with my fiance for 5 years, and all the life changes that I made, the reason, like switching careers, doing the things that I'm doing, I was really driven with this idea that I wanted us to have a good life. And when I thought of my life in the future, I'd love it to be together. And when I realized that we can't be together and things changed, like it broke my heart, but it also got me spiraling backwards, being like, was any of this worth it? What was the hard work, the late nights? Because I felt like maybe I worked so hard that I did not give enough attention to her, and that our relationship over the years kind of separated. And then a lot of you said, listen, don't just put all the blame on yourself, because the fact is it takes two people to be in a relationship, and maybe you could have communicated things better, but it's still a choice and decision she was making as well, because someone who really supports what you are doing and really wants the best for you, they will support you and stick around, even though they will sacrifice part of whatever it is to make it work. And I think that's the hardest thing, finding relationships, is finding somebody that will be with you through good, the bad, and the not so good. And I'm saying that the relationship ending, it's definitely like, no, like someone did this to Paul like whatever deserves it. I think it's a combination of both of ours, not like taking few things for granted and not listening to each other, or being able to talk about things openly that we weren't happy with. Because listen, I spent a lot of time working, a lot of time studying outside of work, because I felt that I need to get to a certain point in order to make sure that I'm at the point where wherever I apply, I could get a job. That was like really, really important to me. But your relationship will suffer because you only have 24 hours in a day, and if you're spending most of that time working on yourself and not taking into account your significant other, that will create some stress. But anyway, let's look at the comments. Let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, man, so awesome to see all of you. Yep, saying like probably the harder it was, for the better you get. Yeah, 100% true. Engine Boy saying more younger people and more less discipline I see, and less patience. That is true. And so when like switching careers, like you gotta take a note of all the things that you have that you might not even think are related to coding, but showing up on time, doing the work, being a good listener, knowing how to work with others on a team, they're really high in terms of the interview process, because the technical stuff you could learn, right? It just, you're literally one blog post, one YouTube video, one, Stack Overflow help away. And let's see. Yeah, the more you struggle in your early days will make you a better later in life. So I'm going to tell you another personal story, and I'm not going to say this to call anybody out. So I had my daughter, but it's going to seem like I'm doing that. So I had my daughter, Marissa, when I was 19 years old, and her mom and I, we separated really early on because we were just teenagers. We didn't know any better. But at the time, her mom, she had Marissa live with her while Marissa was younger. And she always talked bad about me, even though it wasn't true, right? She always talked bad about me to my daughter. And whenever my daughter would come and stay with me when she was younger, eventually she stayed with me because, and I'll get to that part of the story, I never said anything bad about her mother, because I don't want her daughter to, like, that's your mom. Like, you don't want to have any bad associations with her. But as she grew up, as Marissa grew up, I didn't have to tell her anything. And she saw, as she got older and older, now my daughter, she's going to be turning 23 this year, she sees the differences. We both were young, we both in the different places when we both started, but as I grew up, I definitely stumbled. I made a lot of mistakes. But one thing that Marissa saw from my standpoint, again, this is not to talk back, this is just the reality that I want to stress with people and how your life experience could shape you. Like, at some point in my life, I learn the number one rule in life. When something happens to you or you do something, you have to take responsibility of that action. It is your fault. And the good news about that, when you do that, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, you're putting the power back in yourself. That means now you acknowledge what happened, you acknowledge what you did, you're going to pay the price, but now you could start to take the steps forward to make better decisions. Marissa's mom, on the other hand, she never got to that point in her life, and she always lived life, like through all of her life, to the point where it's not her. It's everybody around her. Why did she do this to me? Why did he do this to me? Why is it, this fault or that fault? And she never took responsibility for her action to this day. And Marissa saw that, and then afterwards, I didn't have to tell her or explain anything about her mother. Like, truth eventually will come out. And that's the lesson my daughter learned. She sees, like, listen, we will make bad decisions sometimes, but the best thing we could do is take responsibility for what we did, not blame anybody else, and take the steps that will lead us to make the changes. And that is amazing. So this is what I'm talking about, like that previous experience in life, is that as we grow up, we will fail, and we let that failure be a lesson. But it'll never be a lesson if we don't take responsibility for what happened. And that's how we make change in our life. Let's see here. Just looking through the comments. Listen, Paul, you should give us her social media page. No. I would never, ever would say anybody. Nobody needs to stand up for me. Nobody needs to go hate on anybody or anything. I know you're joking, Alex, but some people on YouTube take this like stupidly serious, which is stupid. We separated, but we still, like what we've been through, we're still friends. Like, I just don't talk to her much because it's very heartbreaking with me, but I still wish her the best in her life, and she still wishes the best for me, even though we're not together anymore. But definitely, I know, like, you're joking, Alex, but still, I have to say that because people on YouTube be crazy sometimes. Angela Boy, so I'm happy to see Paul back, becoming more powerful, passing hard days. Listen, it's not that I'm powerful or strong. It's because I have, like, the community. I have all of you, all the positive messages I got, like in private and through Twitter and through YouTube when I posted stuff when I was not making videos, just made me realize is that my setback does not define who I am. I have so much good going on, just like all of us can find something good that's going on from, like, my family, from you, my friends, and everything else. Yes, 100%. Let's not do that. Yeah. By the way, like, my ex-fiance, even though we have, like, separate, she's actually a super nice person. This is why it makes it super difficult, because she's such a good-hearted person. She's not like a bitch. Like, she did not, like, break up with me in a way that, like, was mean or mean-spirited. It's just a thing that people separated. We fell out of love because of things. But she's actually a good person, and that's why it's very hard to, like, to get over it fast and also to hate on her. And yes, thank you. Don't be hard on yourself. You get better and forever blissful relationship. I believe that. Thank you so much, Ibua, and Alex agrees with that. And Kit Kat, relationships are hard. I'm struggling with mine too. Yeah, this is one thing, like, a lot of people don't understand. Maybe they do, maybe I don't understand, but relationships are very, very hard, because it's not just your life, it's somebody else's life. And, like, there's a saying that people say, like, one half and another half makes a whole. And to me, that's like, no. You need two whole individuals, two people that kind of have their stuff, like, figured out to come together. And even then, it's still hard. Relationships are like a plant that you have to water and take care of and fertilize and do all this stuff. Otherwise, it's gonna die. And that's just the nature of them. And they are very hard. Anybody who says, I got a relationship and it's easy, I don't do any work, is full of it. Just like everybody who's saying, and like, I took 1 week coding course and then in Python and then I made $1 million. That's same. Oh my gosh, Alex, listen, wait till you get married. why is it gotta be so negative and hard? No, like I think like listen, relationships just tough. Just know that you have to nurture them, work them. But one thing that I want to say, something that really hard for me because I came from a very old school environment where people used to marry and regardless what happens, they just never divorced. But this idea that you could be with someone and they could fall out of love with you, like, and not have any negativity to you, just something that could happen, like it actually is a thing. And like I didn't understand it because like to me it's like if I make my mind to be in a relationship with someone, I'll be in a relationship with them almost like an arranged marriage and do what it takes. But the reality is you can't force love, you can't force like stuff to happen. And so, but yeah, this is a great question. How have you been pulling up with work and the situation? I hope you're doing a bit fine at work. Yeah, thank you for asking. Actually, like one of the things, like I work at Strappy, people there are so amazing and the team is so positive, and I was so open about my thing and struggle that I was going through. And my manager Daniel, he's like, and you know, Victor, they're like, is there anything we could do? Like they were so positive that, you know, the environment there was so good, so like friendly. I felt so much support that was actually a place and thing I looked forward to. I've looked forward to going to work and spending time with people. It was hard, but and then there's still other challenges. It's such an amazing role, but there's so much to learn for me. But I'm excited for the process. But man, that was like one of my things where it helped me. And I know like I'm very blessed to have a place with such a great environment. That's $1 million question. So Engine Boy says, when are we going to see Paul and John Coding Addict in one frame? It's going to happen. We are going to come back to doing our podcasting. John actually just, well, not recently, it's been a minute, but he had another baby, and he also had took some time to take care of that and a bunch of other stuff. So life happened, but we will be back. That's 1000% true. Yo, listen, the struggle is real. I have to take my wife to the movies tonight, so we won't, or she won't let me buy a new monitor. Dude, listen, okay, this is a joke, guys and girls. Don't go after me about it, but listen, it's the shoes. You need to get and let her buy whatever shoes she wants with no questions asked. Then you will never have a problem buying a monitor 1000%. Listen, you'll need a new house with a closet for all the shoes, but you'll have a new monitor. It's just the case. Okay, that was a joke, maybe. So don't hurt me for that. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, we're going to be back. It's going to be awesome. Yes, and congrats to John. Holy Jesus, that's true. That's what I'm saying. That's the strategy. If you let your significant other or fiance or girlfriend buy whatever shoes she wants, 100% your relationship is going to be good. I have 2 pairs of shoes, maybe 3. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe I stopped letting her buy shoes. I think that was I'm going to ask her. I'm going to call her and be like, hey, listen, I just want to know, is it because we didn't have enough closet space for shoes? No, but I totally get it. And you know what? Like, it's like, this is another thing, is whenever like you're in a relationship, you have to understand and give space to others do their thing, you know, and never question. Like I'm making a joke about this, by the way, but you know, like women and men or who whatever we identify as, we have our preferences, we have our likes, and there's certain things that give us like peace of mind. Like I love tres leches cake. It's this Mexican cake. Very easy to make, but it's so good, and it's just like my thing. I love it. And just like I love tech, I love computers, I love my MacBook Pro. I just, for my birthday, I'm trying to get into music. Maybe we'll do like Coding After 30 party night. I got this thing for Ableton Live. I suck at music. I don't know what I'm doing, but to make beats. But maybe once a month we'll do like a hangout where we could chat and I could try to make some beats. But people like things that they like, and you can't judge people and be like, why do you always do this? Why do you just let them? Unless it's like addicting and causes other issues, but like let people enjoy their thing. So that's gonna help the relationship be fine. So if you if your significant other wants to go to a spa because she loves it, go to the spa with her. You know, like I remember the funniest thing. This is hilarious. This is a long time ago. So
I was dating this girl. This is way when I was younger. This is so funny. I was dating this girl, and we had very different opinions of what TV and movies we liked. I like a lot of sci-fi and action, and she liked a lot of the lighthearted, like comedies and romantic stories. And so we had certain shows that we watched together. But then there's certain shows she's like, I know Paul's not gonna watch it, so I'm not gonna make him. And then I knew there's certain movies that I like that she's not gonna watch, and I'm not gonna make her watch them either. And so there was Terminator Resurrection, not Resurrection, like the third one with the dude that played Batman, whatever his name was. That Terminator movie. And one day she went with me to watch it, and I was like, oh my God, like what is happening? Something's not right. Something's not right. I'm like, she's with me at a movie that I know she's not gonna watch. And I'm like, look at her, I'm like, hey, do you like the movie? And she's got this stone cold face. And she's like, I like it. It's good. Yeah, Christian Bale, Terminator with Christian Bale. One of my that's a good Terminator. If people like it or hate it. And she's just stone cold, like watching the movie. I'm like, you don't like this movie? It's like, well, you don't have to go with me. I'm like trying to tell her, and she's like, no, it's okay. It's okay. I have to go with her, like with you. Blah 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 blah. And then weeks later, she's like, haha, Paul, that was like so hilarious. You know, that movie sucked, and I can't believe I went, but I thought I was pregnant, so I was just like, hey, whatever. I was like, you should have told me. We could have stayed home. It's no big deal. And it's not whatever, but it was funny. The dating life was real, but that's what I'm saying. Yes. Yeah. She wanted to choose 1,000%. Listen, that's a lesson I learned, and I'm all about it now. Tres leches cakes look nice. Gotta try. Yeah, 100% gotta try it. Tech Rally. Yo, Alex is here. I haven't talked to Alex in a while. I'm now back in Texas. I never made it to New York. My boo for me. But I was kind of in my low in my life, so I'm gonna use that as an excuse. But check out Tech Rally's channel. By the way, Tech Rally, he's got a podcast now on Spotify. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It takes a lot for me to tell Alex when he does something good, and he's killing it on Twitter. He's like his Twitter is like through the roof. But man, like, I really like the podcast and the stuff he's doing. But Tech Rally, I definitely will go there more often. I just figured out how to game the system. So I have a credit card which I pay rent with that I earn bajillion fly miles on. And so then I pay my credit card off, but I do get to keep all my frequent flyer miles. So I'm going to have to come and check. He hasn't done, oh man, that sucks. Yeah, but the burnout is real. Tech Rally says, let me put this because this is legit. Yeah, we'll have to like do a live stream together. I got to get back to chat with you and stuff. I still like you, Alex. I've been going through a lot of stupid stuff in life, and so I didn't talk to anybody, by the way. It's not just you. And but yeah, I will DM you. We will have to do live for sure. And yeah, he says, I haven't done podcasts in a while either. YouTube, the burnout is real, 100%. But I really liked the format of the podcast. It was really well done. Like I hope, like, I know it's kind of like trying to figure out what is the thing that will give best benefit to everybody in the community and ourselves, and then just trying to figure out what that is and focusing on that. But man, like, I feel you. But dude, that was a good thing. But we'll definitely have to get in touch and chat about it. I'll definitely hit you up on a DM. Listen, don't make her pay for the monitor. Just buy her shoes, and then you'll get 2 monitors. Yeah, you'll have to watch 2 movies for 2 monitors. Yeah. Yeah, so Alex, you'll definitely have to catch up together for sure. I always love my chats with you, bro. 100%. Yeah. How do you not need 2 monitors? How do you, like, I have 2 monitors. It's not enough. I know this dude. Oh my God. He's got like 6 monitors on one setup and then 3 to his side. And I'm like, man, that dude is super productive at watching, doing work, and probably Netflix, HBO, and whatever. By the way, yeah, I have a 29-inch monitor. Yeah. I found like for productivity, I found like not for gaming, like I don't even game much anymore. But oh, he wants the 49-inch. Oh, you have a 49-inch. I bought a like ultra wide monitor. Actually, KitKat recommended me I do that. And she actually did a good comment. I'll answer it in just a moment. But she recommended an ultra wide monitor. It gives a lot more space. That's kind of nice. All right, guys. And all right, there's a lot of monitor chat going on. Okay, I see. Let me answer some questions here. Let me do the first one with KitKat, and then I come back down. But man, thank you so much. If you haven't smashed the like button, you don't have to. You don't have to, but smash it for the person next to you in the comment section. Do it for them. But man, I'm so excited. This has been you made my Saturday amazing. Thank you so much. So KitKat says, how's your new role and what's been like working as a developer advocate? And we have like Kitty friends saying hello and pushing buttons. I'll just let her go. And so the role is awesome. I really love it. It's a lot to do, and I'm still trying to get my bearings. I'm definitely doing a good job, but it's a lot of roles. It's combining. Basically, I work with the marketing team and also the development team, and trying to communicate with both, and then also come up with initiatives that help us to meet our goals and serve the community. And the hardest thing for me is that as a developer advocate, you have to do live events, and you have to sign up for events, you have to give talks, and this is something that is part of your job. And for me, being on YouTube is one thing, but working as a developer most of the time, that's not something I did a lot of. And maybe one or two like small meetups and just this YouTube channel, but going to events is a process. And a lot of these conferences, you need to submit a topic. It has to be trendy, it has to be good, but you also have to be, I feel, known as a speaker. So the goal for me is to start building this speaker reputation, starting with smaller meetups and so on. So I want to organize my own meetup. I want to do some local meetups in Texas. I did one in Jamstack Porto, which was in Portugal, which was amazing. And speaking of that, so I do want to create a meetup that maybe I'll do once a month that I'm going to organize. People will be able to join via, I don't know if I'm going to use Meets or Zoom, whatever. Like, let me know what you think is best. But I want to get everybody, kind of getting to this idea where you share what you're building and you talk about what you learn, and getting this practice of talking about what you are doing. I think it's a huge thing to be public about what you're learning, what you're building, build in public, learn in public, because it will help you open up doors. There's an amazing podcast. Go to Syntax Podcast. Check it out on Spotify. I think his last episode was about giving talks and why they were doing them. A lot of good learning experience. But yeah, like the job is awesome. It's just so much to do, and I'm, so much to juggle. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's like any place you start, the first 6 months is going to be like a chicken running with your head cut off. But the team is awesome. People are awesome. It's great. Let's see here. I don't know if it was a good enough answer. Have you ever thought of becoming a DevOps? That's another great question. So whenever you get into this career, there's so many paths that you could take, from being a developer. Like here I am working as a developer advocate, and then there's like this whole DevOps section. All those things that I just mentioned, they're their own career path in their own right. And so what I would say is you need to pick something that fits with you well and works with all the strengths that you already have. So it's much better suited role for you. So I like development. I do not have a lot of interest in DevOps. And also it's going to be a whole like thing of kind of like how much I have to share, like do and add and stuff like that. And I realized that my screen hasn't been on the screen that I wanted to, which is like exciting. I don't know why that's happening, or is it? I don't know. Like, what screen are you seeing right now? Do you see my big head, or do you see coffee code and chat? like something stupid, but I don't know. I don't know what is happening. Let me intro, switch. I don't understand what preview mode does. I haven't streamed in so long. I don't understand how my software works anymore. But regardless what you see on the screen, it doesn't matter. We're having a good time. I'll figure that out later. But yeah, becoming DevOps, I haven't thought about it, just not my thing. But what I would suggest, anybody that's switching careers or trying to figure out the thing that you like, it's good to explore different things, but understand we all only have like the same 24 hours in a day, and all those things like from DevOps, DevRel to, you know, backend developer, you know, full stack developer, front-end developer, they're all like their own like career paths that you could only spend majority of your time in that one area. It's like impossible to do everything well. So definitely choose with something that you want. Yep, Kit Kat says she loves her ultra wide. I love my ultra wide too. Alex is the monitor king. I christened Alex for being the monitor king, so that's who Alex is. And I'm realizing, yeah, my computer is not showing the screen that I want, and I'm really like bothered by it now. But the funniest thing is, oh, I see how this works. Now I should be back to the normal screen. The issue is, it's funny, is because like I haven't streamed in so long that, so everybody had to look at like my tiny head. Maybe that was for the best. Like it's all good. It's all good. See, I'm still a noob. Hey, Fabian, great to see you, my man. Man, this stream, I'm gonna have everybody watching it. It's like, man, I hope I don't say anything bad. No, Fabian is awesome. Really good guy. Listen, this is the thing I was telling people. Like, so this was like dealing with setbacks and failures and whatever, and I went through some bad times. And this is something that I want to say. I was looking forward to going to my job at Strappy because of how awesome everybody there is and how supportive everybody is there. So when I was going through my lows, the one thing that I was looking to every day is going to my job and seeing people there. And one of the most amazing experiences for me, they had a like a get-together, company get-together, which they did in a little bit in Paris, but majority of it was spent in Lisbon, Portugal. And it was such an amazing experience to make new friends, be surrounded by friends. And I think this is where I switched from being like a little bit depressed to feeling the love, feeling the positivity, being around people. And this is what, like I said earlier in the stream, like, man, get out there, hang out with your friends, hang out with your family. It's so good when things are not going the way you wanted them to go, and feeling the presence of people there just made me feel so good and so motivated to realize that, listen, bad things happen to a lot of people, and sometimes, you know, there's nothing we could do about them. But if we're in a position where we could make a change, listen, you have so many positive things in your life, and man, like, it made me feel so appreciated that it started me on the path of getting back to where I needed to go. That was, yep. Thanks, Kit Kat. Was still stuck on that coffee code in chat. I'm still like figuring out how to get back into streaming. Yeah, and Fabian was saying it was a nice trip. Yeah, and remote is nice, but seeing people in person is good. Man, it was so amazing to meet you in person, Fabian. Dude, like, I can't, everybody I met in Strappy, like, is so awesome. We had such, I can't even, like, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to, like, get people jealous, you know? But it's, you know, every company has things that they go through, but from the people that I met, I can't say enough about them. So whenever I go to work, I literally think about what's the best work I could do today, because I know how awesome all my teammates are. And I'm learning so much from everybody. So it's amazing. Oh my gosh, I got a super chat. Let me hit this up. man, so you don't have to, but like, thank you so much. Hi, Paul. I just want to wish you from now on greater positives in your life, more than you have ever experienced. Man, thank you so much. It means a lot. And listen, I wish everybody in everybody's life that you all get all the positivity, all the awesome things happen to you. And listen, everybody deals with setbacks. Not me. I'm not special. Everybody has hardships. Everybody has struggles. But here's one thing to know is that, it's the best thing you could do, and this is something that took me a while to get through my thick skull, is that be around your friends, be around your family, be around other positive people. And that trip in Lisbon was one of those cathartic experiences, which kind of reminded me like, hey, like your failure, your setback, it doesn't define you. It's not who you are. And being surrounded by amazing people, having like a good time really, really helps, man. And Ibuka, thank you so much. I really I appreciate it, man. So nice, and having the communication here. So we've been doing this live stream for an hour, and so I do have a bunch of stuff to do this weekend because I'm kind of half moved in, and you could probably tell my house is like fairly empty because of the amazing echo we're having. But what I want to say, I just want to give all my love to all of you. Really appreciate the support. I'm super excited. If you're building a project, right? Because I got to do it because I love it. If you haven't tried Strappy CMS, especially if you're learning front end and you want to make a pretty awesome application that has some full stack, deeper functionality, you can build your application with React. You could build it with, any front-end framework. You could even build it with vanilla JavaScript if you like. But for your backend, check out Strappy. You could go to their strappy.io website. It's pretty awesome. And the reason I'm sharing it is because I literally in love with the product, even if I didn't work for the company, which is hilarious that I now work there. Because it's like, oh my God, I love Strappy. And it's funny because every time I do a live stream, they're like, Paul, you're always so excited. You're so excited. And like you bring so much positivity. And I'm like, how can I not bring so much positivity? This is like exactly how I feel. Like I'm super, like, by the way, before I worked at Strappy, we used to do that Power Hour podcast with John Smilga. And he'd be like, Paul, man, you talk about Strappy way too much. He's like, you should apply there. You should apply and see what happens. So yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, and Tech Rally, Jesus, my God. Tech Rally spending the big bucks working at Amazon. Man, you didn't have to, my man, but I'm going to buy me some tacos today. Actually, better yet, better than tacos, I'm going to buy me a tres leches cake because that's amazing. Paul, used to hitting arm bars and triangles and ask for help. Glad you're seeing a positivity with friends. Yeah, no, listen, 100%. Like you got to do it, and we gotta have our next stream reconnect. But man, I don't even know if you have my number. By the way, I switched. This is the crazy thing, Tech Rally. I switched my number because I was low, and I never told anybody about it. And on my birthday, nobody called me, and I was like, oh God, nobody cares for me. And then I realized, you're an idiot. You got a new phone number, and you didn't tell anybody about your new phone number. How do you expect people to reach out to you? It was hilarious. Yeah, that's 100%. Like Alex, hard to find full stack jobs as a junior. 1000%. If you never heard like my story, one of the coolest things I've done with Strappy was my second developer role was just as a React developer and not doing backend. But they had a project idea that they wanted to try, and I introduced Strappy, which allowed them to build the idea that they wanted to build and eventually deploy it. And they hired more developers and stuff like that. So it allowed me as a front-end developer start to build a fully full-stack application with fairly easy use. I used Strappy 3 for that project, but moving forward, like if you go to Strappy, you're going to be using Strappy 4. It's amazing. If you use Strappy 3 and you're using Strappy 4, there's a lot of differences because we had to, they basically rebuilt the whole thing from scratch for the best. So definitely Strappy is awesome. Dude, first of all, Ibuka, email me at codingafter30, hold on. I will love to help you. Coding after with your project 30. Anybody who is looking to build anything with Strapi, have any questions, reach me out. By the way, the best places you could go, number one is you could go to our website, strapi.io. It's pretty awesome. They have a lot of great blog posts. If you check out the blog section, that showcases a lot of great examples. Also, join the Strapi Discord. Because there you could ask questions for help. It's an amazing community. So I'll share the link for that as well. Look at you guys and girls making my job so easy. I'm like promoting Strapi left and right here. Hey, John, great to have you and jumping in. We definitely got to get. I'm so excited to get the Power Hour podcast going again soon. But I know life, is life, and so sometimes we can't get to everything we want. But I'm looking forward when we finally, both of us, are in the place to get back to it. It'll be amazing. And again, and before you go, when's the next JS course coming out? I'm just gonna troll a little bit, coding addict here. Thanks, Chad. We'll see you. Have a great weekend. Kid Cat says, yeah, Paul's resume video helped me so much to write my resume. No, thanks so much. And your story was amazing. I would love to, when you have time, to share your story, how you switched careers. It's amazing. It's really awesome. Super great. But let me just finish my thought process. Ibuku, I'll definitely help you out. Any questions you have, but check out the Discord, check out the Strapi website. Those are the best places to start right now. And there's a lot of great YouTube tutorials on Strapi version 4. Let me see if I could find the one that I really liked that you should start. Also, check out Strapi YouTube channel, but I'll share with you this awesome tutorial for Strapi v4. That's actually really good. It's by this Lathe Academy. That's one. That's good. And then there's another one by Art Coded. So let me share those with you in 1 second. I'm going to put the links in the chat so you could check them out. Here's one. And then there's another one that I like. I like both of them. Art Code and Lathe Academy, they have really good ones. Obviously, our website, strapi.io for sure. And definitely join the Discord channel 1000% because you will get a lot of great help there. So, hey, Alex, thanks for stopping by. We're definitely going to do something. Listen, still much respect. Positivity, 100%. I didn't talk to anybody, to be honest. So we definitely got to get back and have a chat 1000%. Yeah, I will also pass it to John. For John, I'm gonna do a screenshot and text your message to him. Dude, John has helped so many people. He helped me tremendously as well through his courses, through our friendship. It was amazing. So I'll definitely pass his message. Yeah, you could ask me questions in the email. By the way, before everybody leaves, I shared my email. I have a community that I haven't been participating in, but I'm going to get back into it. That's another place to ask questions for me. And if you want to join, I do it's not like anybody could join, and it's not to be an idiot. I just want to see a commitment from people. So if you have a GitHub account or you have a project that you built, share that link with me. You could send it to codingafter30 email, codingafter30@gmail.com. But I have this Circle community that I'm going to be more active, and I want to use this the most to answer questions and to engage with people. Discord Strapi that I shared, you'll be able to ask questions there just generally about Strapi like I'm not the only one that's on there. There's a lot of people that are on there. I'm actually a member of it, but I'm not the owner of it. But if you want to ask questions directly for me, obviously you could email me, but we have this Coding After 30 community, and you can join it by sending me an email. And again, I'll put my email in the section here. Again, coding after 30 at gmail.com. Send me an email and send me a link to your GitHub, or send a link to a project that you built, and I will send you an invite to this community. And so this will be a great place to chat with each other and everybody, all the community members. And so, but if you need to ask a question, you could always ask in the comments here. Always email me. My email is open. Just don't spam me, please. You know, with crazy like offers for brand deals. Anybody watching this live stream, I'm good. But yeah, that's where I would say. And yeah, so with that being said, oh, sorry, I just saw this is hilarious. This is funny actually. And then Brian is like, yeah, my birthday was July 1st, but he's like, I had your new number, but I didn't know it was your birthday. Yeah, don't worry about it. No big deal. No big deal. But anyway, what I want to say to everyone, thank you for joining Coffee Code and Chat. It was amazing, and it's so awesome to finally get back in streaming. I think the new time is going to be the Saturday, 11 a.m. U.S. Central Time, just because I want to be mindful of my members. And then I'll do another stream at some other point, but I will ever let everybody know. KitKat says also, sure, let's catch up soon, 1,000%. Let's catch up soon. And man, feel the love from all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. And with that being said, I hope that you have the best weekend that you can. I want to thank you because all of you, all your positive feedback through Twitter, on YouTube, email, made me like really get out of my lows much faster than I wanted to, and I really appreciate you as a community. Thank you so much, and we will be back next Saturday, 11 a.m. U.S. Central Time. And I think that's a great time for a majority of the people, I feel like. And I will make an announcement with the times on the channel to reflect that, so if anybody forgets. But thank you, and I will see everybody next week. Thank you so much. Love you all. Take care. And with that being said, goodbye.